Speaking of Russians, did you see that Igor Ozhiganov comment that came out of Russia?
Tiny little bit harsh, wasn't it?
Well, you know what was rare about this? And if you haven't seen it, the gist of it is, and he obviously said it in Russian, and now it's been translated to English, but
very crudely.
Yeah, we can't, even if there was audio of it, we wouldn't be able to play it on the radio.
No.
But he was taking a run at his teammates.
Yes, he was.
Like, usually when a guy leaves, he takes a run at the coach.
Right.
Like, we've heard that before. Like, Mikhail Grabowski took a serious run at Randy Carlisle.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of examples. Like,
that's age old.
Yeah, or the organization. You know, Jesse Puljujärvi's a current guy that is in Europe that doesn't want to come back. He doesn't have an issue with his teammates or McDavid or Draisaitl. He hates the organization. Wants out. The gist of what Ozhiganov had to say was that the players for the Leafs were going out of their way to kiss the behind of the head coach.
Kiss up to the coach.
Kiss up to the coach. And, like, Ozhiganov was disgusted by this and basically said, if you did that back in Russia, your teammates would never talk to you.
Right.
I've never heard a guy take a run at his former teammates like that.
And specifically, he said, laugh at every one of his jokes, make him think he was really funny, agree with everything he said, and just kiss up to him.
Like, did Ozhiganov understand English? I don't remember him speaking English.
I think he relied on Zaitsev.
So how would he know what they were saying? And
well, then again, okay, I have played with players that didn't understand a word of English until it was convenient for them to understand a word of English.
So maybe kind of knew what was going on and just, or even, you know, body language would say that too. But I find that hard to believe based on what I've heard about the players and how they feel about Babcock. I could see certain players. You know, I think Hyman and Brown were guys that were pretty, I wouldn't say they were close with Babcock, but Babcock loved them. They were professionals. They showed up and worked every day. I think they had a pretty good relationship with Babcock. You know, I don't know. Are they sitting there laughing at his goofy jokes?
Well, Ozhiganov didn't have a very good tenure here either.
It was terrible. But then blame Babcock, blame Dubas, blame Shanahan. Why are you blaming your former teammates?
Blaming your teammates.
And it wasn't really blaming. It was like a legitimate shot.
Describing what it was in a locker room.
Kind of like the power of Babcock based on his perspective that he was, and listen, he's the head coach and he's a powerful guy. I think they respect him. I don't know if they like him all the time, but I think they respect him.
You don't have to like your coach.
No.
You don't. It's the most overrated thing.
But you also don't have to laugh at his jokes and go out of his way. Like,
no.
You know. Because I find that hard to believe that, you know, the bigger guys were doing that.
That's a young group in there, too, though. A lot of them were.
Yeah. But also young guys that have been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one thing as a rookie for you to be like, all right, I better, you know, this guy's a powerful guy and he's Mike Babcock. By year 3, are you still doing that? Do you feel an obligation to prove yourself to Babcock and loyalty?
Probably not.
But it's interesting that, you know, he says that, and Zaitsev clearly had a gripe with somebody in that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't. Maybe Zaitsev had a gripe with his teammates.
Well, if he had a gripe with the defensive coach, then he's in trouble, isn't he? Because isn't that his head coach?
DJ Smith is the head coach in Ottawa,
and that's the coach that would have been involved in trading for him. There's no way to trade for Zaitsev without clearing it with
Smith.
With DJ.
Do you think
no
DJ
question.
Smith liked Connor Brown so much though that he goes, "I'll be able to work it out with Zaitsev, get Connor Brown"?
He might have.
Because that was the real deal.
Yeah.
Was getting Connor Brown.
Yeah, it was clearing the contract to Zaitsev. Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah. No, I know that. But if you're Ottawa, you're like, what am I getting out of this? Oh, we get Connor Brown.
Would have been as well in the OHL when Connor Brown led the OHL in scoring.
Yeah. Well, and
he'd have been in Oshawa.
They signed Tyler Ennis. You know Brown played a factor in that. And they signed Ron Hainsey. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that, or DJ Smith played a factor in that.
There's no question he did.
You know, why would you not use that resource as a sounding board? Mm-hmm. You know, but
the Ozhiganov stuff came right out of nowhere.
Yeah, strange. Mm-hmm. Just again because of the context.
You know,
former players take runs all the time.
Liking a coach is you don't. I mean, and generally, arguably, guys will say years later who the best coach they had was. It wasn't someone they liked. Someone that got the most out of them.
Well, and
that's what coaching is.
Ozhiganov is indicating that you're supposed to hate the coach.
Right.
Like, based on what he's saying. He's saying that in Russia, if anyone kissed up to the coach...
that might very well be the culture. You think of the coaches that some of the tyrannical coaches who have been over there, and they've dismissed coaches and fired coaches like, midstream, mid-sentence, mid-season over there.
Well, and you've seen players like whack coaches with their sticks. Remember Radulov, the turnaround smack.
Just a little smack in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the coaching relationship's quite different over there.
A little bit different.
But still very odd comments. Very odd.
Yeah. Yeah.
And out of nowhere.
A jaded player. I mean, a guy it didn't work here, shipped out. Again, I would have expected him to take a healthy run at Babcock or Dubas.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance, or I wasn't played in the right situation, or something like that. Not
the players
kiss up to
are
him.
nerds, basically, and do whatever Babcock tells them to do. We need the Leafs on Hard Knocks to get to the bottom of that.